feeling called the blues. Oh Lord, since my baby said goodbye. Lord, I don't know what to do.
Eventually, after research and kind of thinking about it more so, I just got to the idea of thinking about the honky tonk and using that as a place for imagining and creating and doing all those wonderful things we do at the Bluecoat anyway, but putting a little bit of a Western spin on things. So we wanted to present a show which really looked at the connections between Liverpool and country music, centres of country music like Austin in Texas and Nashville, Tennessee. And really just see what artists were doing in those cities and how they related and what stories they had to tell, and really just make some of those connections around humour, architecture, design, the look of things, the fashion of country. And so we've tried to do that in a sense, look at the history of country music in Liverpool a little bit, but also look at what's happening at the moment.
Oh Lord, last long day she said goodbye. Well, Lord, I thought I would cry.
It's really amazing to see all this work. You know, I'm immersed in this culture back home, and so seeing the work here, especially from the Liverpool artists who are kind of really hitting the nail on the head with regard to the kind of the feel and the understanding of the working class culture that Honky Tonk represents is interesting. It's just really great to see that it crosses cultures.
She'll do you, she's got that kind of loving. Lord, I love to hear her when she called me sweet dad.
Sarah Jane Parsons, who's a curator, wanted to do something around the fact that having lived in Texas for 15 years, coming back to Liverpool, she was struck by the similarities in terms of the bars and the music and so on. So the idea for a show called Honky Tonk came about, bringing together artists from the two places, from Texas and from Liverpool. And that's what we've got now.
Such a beautiful dream. I hate to think.
My contribution to the show Honky Tonk is really to, in a sense, represent that portion of the South, which is ever so slightly different from the Texas South that most of the show comprises. So it's a little bit different. The piece also has a piece of audio that is an old Andy Griffith stand-up from the 50s. The story is actually, it's a piece of Shakespeare that he reads with his southern accent. So it's pretty funny, and the lights are timed to go off with the music, and it's a conversation between my brother and Pamela Anderson. My brother's the big one, by the way, not the girl. It's not me.
I've tried to keep her satisfied, she just wouldn't stay. But now that she is leaving, this is all I can say. I got a feeling called the blues. Oh Lord, since my baby said goodbye.
It's about keeping things really raw. You can't ignore the influence of alcohol, I think, and abandonment with that enjoyment, where almost the music and euphoria become one. It's not a place for political correctness and politeness, you know, but it's a feeling, I think, as well as maybe a genre, and that it's a lot of things. Once you think you've got a handle on it, it disappears.
I've grown so used to you somehow. Well, I'm nobody's sugar daddy now, when I'm lonesome. I got the lovesick blues.
I don't need a motorcycle or a hot rod car. Trouble, keep your head down. Trouble tends to follow me around. You see the black guy cross my path. People tell me that I'm living in the past. Cause there's one thing I can't resist. There's something things rockabilly. Things like this. Shake it up. Shake it up. Shake it up. Shake it up. See the sounds nowadays, it don't seem real. Shit, don't make me feel. You gotta do it with the times. Living in a town is not a house of mine. I'm pointing the finger, I'm shouting the blame. Turn that damn thing off, but you gotta shake it up. Shake it up. Shake it up.